Hey guys, so this is going to be my first voiceover video because that's kind of how the flow of this video has kind of turned out. So aside from the intro that I'm going to be talking in here, I'm going to be kind of just voicing over and talking about this event. Hey guys, so today we're doing kind of like a interesting day trip. I'm here with my sister Sam and we are in LA today for the MOSHI MOSHI NIPPON Festival 2015. So we just heard of it actually on Facebook. They added like a sponsor page and I saw it and I was like, that sounds interesting, so let's check it out. So I don't want to bore you guys too much with the details of what this festival was, but essentially there's an organization in Japan that caters to sharing pop culture in Japan in hopes of bringing visitors from everywhere around the world to come and visit Japan. So like in this photo right here, they just last year during Christmas time opened their Moshi Moshi box, which is like their little information center in Harajuku. So like I said, this caters to foreigners, so there's a lot of like English places and they really want to make it easy and accessible for people who don't probably speak Japanese or know the culture very well. So I'm going to provide you guys with a bunch of links down below so you can kind of do your own research if you're interested more in understanding what this organization is about. But what I can tell you is that they have had festivals in Japan before, and I know that this one that we were attending is the first time that they've brought it to Los Angeles. I do think that Moshi Moshi Nippon is kind of targeting a particular type of audience because I think that them being located out of Harajuku and kind of having a festival with that theme involved is definitely not going to attract everybody. There's going to be people who are going to love it and be totally into it, and people who are going to really think it's weird. So this event was at Magic Box The Reef in Los Angeles, and I had never been to the Reef building before. And first and foremost, I just want to say that the advertisement for this event was incredible. Not surprised at all because I know that it was people from Japan in the Japanese organization who made that, and they always do incredible on their advertisements, at least from what I've seen. The guide that they gave you was very simple, very easy to read, and it was very appealing. As you guys can see from this shot right here, this is the inside of the guide. There are the sponsors and the booths and what's just being held at the festival in general, and everything's got a brief description, a really appealing picture, and it looks like it's very professional. I unfortunately didn't know any of these special guests. I'm not involved particularly in the Harajuku culture or fashion, so the models that they brought weren't familiar to me at all. However, if you are into it, I'm sure that they were pretty legit. So now as I go into the festival that my sister and I actually attended, I just wanted to make it clear that we had actually very low expectations going into this thing. All we knew was their brief description about being food, fashion, cosplay, and it being about Japanese pop culture. That and literally just this picture right here on their Facebook page. That was pretty much all we were going off of entering this festival. So as we were walking in on this place, there was actually another convention being held in the same building. However, we found where we needed to go, and they give us these badges, which basically were just like business cards that they kind of clipped onto it, which wasn't a big deal. They were cute. We walked up to the second floor, and this was where the festival was being held. This was literally my first impression walking in. We were pretty excited. So as you can see, the actual area that they were having the festival is really interesting. It kind of has like a show floor IKEA feel to it, so it was really open, which made it very interesting. The Moshi Moshi Nippon organization had their own merch there. Tokyo Central was also there, which is like a Japanese market sort of place. But yeah, otherwise it was very open. The booths were being barely set up, and it actually opened at 10 o'clock and we were there at like 10:45. Everybody was still setting up. It was kind of a little like awkward in that way because there was just like very few of us walking around looking around. But there were also artists there. They had their art up, and like this booth was a very full and pretty booth. Most of the time, Sam and I actually hung out at the karaoke section because we were there only for about 2.5 hours or so. It was funny because they were having technical difficulties at this point. I thought that was funny. This karaoke program was actually really cool to see. It was actually kind of like a video game because it ranked you and gave you points for how well you sang the song. So this girl was the first girl of the day who went up. She was totally fearless. You could tell she does this either all the time or is just not afraid to do it. And you gotta hear she actually does a really great job. So the hosts of this program were like constantly trying to beckon people to come and karaoke because there wasn't a lot of people during the time that we were there that wanted to sing. But there were a couple that were there, and it was really fun to see what kind of songs they knew. My sister and I knew several songs ourselves, but we just didn't feel confident, and I also was sick that day, so we didn't actually do any karaoke ourselves. So aside from entering, checking out the booths, sitting and listening to the karaoke, there was actually the main stage area, which they had a schedule for in the guide that they gave us. Because we had something else that we had committed to that day, Sammy and I didn't really end up going to any of the main stage events. While we were there, the KKS preliminary audition was going on, so it was like kind of like a talent show. So we would kind of occasionally go in there and check, and people were dancing and singing and doing things like that. I wasn't allowed to film in there, so that's why I didn't do it. But yeah, here's a shot of the whole kind of area and what kind of booths were there. Like I said, the advertisement was really cute and well laid out and were super understandable. So here's the thing about this festival. You can tell it was their first year. It was really cute. If you were expecting great things out of this coming into it, you would definitely be majorly disappointed. The best way that I can describe what this festival was here's this shot again of the rice balls that were going to be here, and this is the actual booth and section that they were selling the rice balls from. These shots make me laugh because it's just so funny, classic to a starting off convention or event. However, my sister and I had a good time. We actually really enjoyed it. We got to see a little bit of the culture and kind of what they were trying to accomplish, and to us, this festival has a lot of potential, and that's kind of what we're looking at. Being able to be there for the first year was such a privilege, to us at least, if they're going to continue doing this year after year, getting better, having more guests. You know, Anime Expo had to start somewhere. Now it's huge, with hundreds of thousands of people going to that event. So we can definitely see the Moshi Moshi Nippon Festival in LA growing, becoming big, being something that we would want to frequent, you know, as long as they improve, and we don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to improve. So here's my vlog and sort of review of the first Moshi Moshi Nippon Festival in LA. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and experiencing it with me through video. If you guys didn't know already, it helps me a lot if you give this video a thumbs up so that more people can see and be able to get a better idea if the festival comes next year. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for spending time with me. Bye!